Hi Taurus, welcome in to your mid-February 2023 Money and Career Tarot reading. I do want to thank you so much for joining me for this reading, but as we proceed, do keep in mind this is general for the remainder of your month, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. But I more than appreciate the love and support, the likes, the comments, and of course subscriptions to the channel if you haven't done so already. But as you can see, we're going to keep it simple and do a layered spread with the Gills of Tarot deck. And I did channel an overall message for us before beginning this reading, and you got more money. It's time to make significant progress. More money. It's time to make significant progress. Beautiful. So let's jump right into it and see what the tarot has to offer. I'm hearing taking your time, taking your time. I'm sorry about my voice. Just, struggling to get over a cold, but taking your time, very interesting. Not feeling the need to rush. It may feel like things are changing for you, but there's a consistency or just a continuation of something that's working in your favor. But you might feel as if you have to catch up on what needs to be achieved, projects, lists of whatever it may be for you. It may feel like people are depending on you to, at times, a heavy extent. But I do feel like there's a highlight on an ending that took place. You may be feeling quite depleted in certain ways, potentially tying into why you're not feeling inclined or it's possible to rush at all. But I do feel like through it all, Spirit's saying, what did we release recently or what do we need to release in order to feel healthier? Whether it's what we're putting our money towards, it could have been a job or it could be a job, right? Or it could be a living situation. I do sense some levels of reflecting, questioning, and reassessing taking place in order to make sure that your money situation feels on point and healthy moving forward, but also your career, all right? It feels like you're being reminded that a project, a hobby, a job, it could be a business that you run, is of significant importance for your overall life purpose or just for your productivity when it comes to making money and being successful in this lifetime. I do feel like the remainder of February leaves you wanting more, right? Whether it's the money flows in at certain points, in certain ways, different streams for some, and then you are hungry for more, right? Naturally. But they're saying don't let that get out of hand, don't overwork oneself. But I feel like a lot stepping into the second half of the remainder of the month for you. If you're already feeling quite overworked, even if you haven't been feeling like you've been overworking oneself, right? There's a sense of you just needing to keep the hope alive. You might be an individual who, whether it's through an online platform, through your business, through your day-to-day job, in certain ways or in one significant way, you help others keep the hope alive, all right? Or you simply will in the remainder of the month at certain points. But I do feel as if there's a sense of something either you might have had something that dipped in progress or in results, potentially numbers, that's taking a jump in the right direction, right? It's increasing once again, or it's starting to progress in the right direction for you, all right? I do feel like you're getting more done in the remainder of the month when it comes to something that you once were able to, or you were in this first half of the month or previous to it. I do feel there is a productive go-getter sort of, let me just get this done and be passionate about it all the meanwhile, a way about you and what you're accomplishing in the remainder of the month, but it again doesn't feel like a force. And do know that if people are observing or benefiting from your work or working with you or both, I feel as if you are, again, you're not feeling that sort of forced rush way of being when doing what you have to do, but other people are picking up on that as well. And it gives them a sense of comfort. There is part of you that's expecting the worst when it comes to either your finances. It could be when it comes to work, where you're living with. For some being drawn to the reading, it could be in regards to more than one situation. But Spirit's saying, again, as you do what you do and you help other people keep the hope alive or bring it on back to their situation, try to expect the best, because we don't need you manifesting and you don't need yourself manifesting a negative outcome at this time. But I do feel like Spirit's saying if there's a door opening for you when it comes to your career or when it comes to a financial investment, know that you will simply, as a Taurus, being very intuitive and just, they're saying magical, very spiritually connected for a lot. You will feel in your bones, in your gut, the energy, even for some, that this is the right opportunity for you, right? But Spirit's saying, why have we in the past accepted an opportunity, potentially due to fear or lack or a fear of lack, right? Wanting to acquire something for some. Spirit saying, why did you at times accept an opportunity you felt or knew deep down wasn't going to be right for you, at least not in the long run? And then it may have brought some negative health effects or just, yeah, however it ends up working for you or did. Spirit saying you're being reminded in the month as a whole, but in the second half of the month, and potentially reminding other people that you need to just trust your instincts, trust your gut feeling, and the feeling of a door opening, and even for some, why a door had to close, right? But there is true levels of victory due to what you let go of or what you are in the midst of doing so. But I do feel like there's less consumption of something, money being put forth towards something that's not healthy. It could be less spending. This is going to leave you with more victory. I do feel like, in general, the remainder of February highlights the fact that you are seeing this money flow in naturally, excuse me, getting more money for your part of your overall message. But I feel like not only that significant progress being highlighted when it comes to the money increase and improvement for oneself, you might even feel the inclination to clean up your finances, right? Making progress with what you need to pay off, or at least some of which. But there's also, again, significant progress and victory when it comes to something that's growing, that you're meant to be continuing or beginning. It feels like victory, again, for some, seeing a door open. I'm being a new opportunity. I'm seeing two hands shake. I feel like you're accepting an opportunity. Something is going to work out in your favor and not feel ultra stressful for you, right? And it may bring you true levels of comfort all the meanwhile. Beautiful. I feel like I kind of lost my breath there. The High Priestess, the hanging man. So there may be an adjustment of perspective. You might find that your work in the remainder of the month and surrounding it involves pushing others to adjust their perspective. But I feel like these are tied in together to an extent, keeping things quite real for you, Taurus. And I feel like in certain ways you are keeping it real as well, with oneself, with other people. But either way, it's like you slip into this kind of negative, assuming sort of mindset, right? Let's just label it as pessimistic, or just the past validating in your mind why you do expect the worst or not the best. But again, when that happens, just check oneself, excuse me, and slip back into, or just in general, into an optimistic state of mind. If something isn't meant to last moving forward, that's leaving you feeling this sense of expecting the worst, then it will come to an end when it's meant to. But look at this. There's a very grounded, for the most part, way of being about you when you're working, when you're accomplishing. But it feels like at certain points you'll feel like you're floating through the remainder of the month, through certain accomplishments. Things again feel easier to accomplish than they did in the beginning of the month, and even previous to that. But it just feels like this is leaving you making this significant progress and just getting things done. They're saying left and right. And you're going to be feeling better about what's at hand, what you're meant to accomplish, and the future of your money and career by the end of this month, even if you don't think so, all right? But it just feels like your spirituality is helping you out. I feel like any forms of messing with spiritually when it came to a job in the past, recently, or just when it comes to struggles with accomplishing in the past, this actually did work to your advantage if you take a hot second to reflect upon how things have developed and changed for you when it comes to your investments, when it comes to your career, however it applies to your situation. But look at this. You're being reminded that you do deserve that financial comfort, but this also representing that ideal situation for oneself, or more so when it comes to work, when it comes to where you run your business for some, when it comes to where you live. So you may be pushed to do some research, some investigating, some brainstorming in regards to what this ideal or multiple ideal situations look like for you. And let's start making that progress towards seeing it come to be. It doesn't feel like it's happening per se in the remainder of this month. For some, it might, but it feels the majority drawn to the reading. This is down the line, and it may feel as if there's a lot of hard work between you and that perfect ideal situation or multiple, but it will feel so rewarding. And it's time for you with 1010 on the timestamp to recognize that the abundance flowing in, including they're saying a lump sum or just clumps of money, okay? However you want to word it, right? You deserve this all the meanwhile, all right? But it feels like it's not just the abundance in the form of money, which will feel gratifying and necessary all the meanwhile for more than one reason, but it's growth, it's success, it's attention, right? That victory to be highlighted all the meanwhile. But Spirit's saying again, even though you're not forcing it in certain ways or just in general, even though you're taking it slow and steady for the most part, but getting things done quite efficiently and easily, once again, there's a sense of you being quite passionate all the meanwhile, all right? But they're saying at certain points, just take a deep breath, keep your cool, whether it's at work, at home, both, and recognize that this is a very successful period for you to make your way to wrap up February where, again, there's more money. And I feel like there's even more in the upcoming months. It's time for you to make this significant progress in more than one way, on more than one level, and just pat yourself on the back, all right? Because I feel like you do go through a lot, and it's the remainder of the month that highlights a bit of a savings increase for you, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy the remainder of your month, and I'll see you next time.